Buenos días a todos. Soy Ricardo Triana, director ejecutivo del Consejo de Empresas Americanas. Quiero dar un agradecimiento muy especial a G4S, que nos ha traído hoy otro de los temas que tenemos para nuestra Semana de la Seguridad, que empezamos el día martes con un evento con FTI, hablando de ransomware y the future of cybersecurity in Latin America. El día de ayer, PricewaterhouseCoopers nos trajo el tema de fake news que se debe tener en cuenta para identificarlas y detener una cadena interminable de desinformación que ha sido, como les decía ayer, una de las pandemias que también hemos tenido. Hoy, G4 nos trae el tema de The Symmetry Solution, Helping Clients Solve Their Security Risks. También muy importante que cómo tener estrategias y maneras de resolver esos riesgos de seguridad de las empresas. Y mañana vamos a cerrar nuestra semana con una presentación de Hill & Norton, quienes nos van a hablar sobre el manejo de crisis tan importante en estos momentos cuando muchas compañías han estado en crisis y cómo salir adelante y cómo enfrentar esas crisis para que haya menos o se mitiguen los efectos negativos de esas crisis. Y además nos van a hablar de un estudio del caso de la policía. Como siempre, les solicito a todos los que se han conectado cambiar el nombre con el que se han conectado en caso de que no corresponda al de ustedes. Nos agreguen el nombre de la compañía, que nos ayuda muchísimo para que nuestros invitados sepan quiénes de dónde nos están acompañando. Los invitamos también a seguirnos en nuestras redes sociales, en LinkedIn, en Twitter, en Instagram, como @seacolombia, y aquellas empresas afiliadas a registrarse en nuestra zona de afiliados en la página web, donde encontrarán pues los contenidos de nuestros eventos y sobre todo las grabaciones y minutas que tomamos de las dos reuniones del día martes y día miércoles, por si acaso ustedes no pudieron asistir. Al final de la reunión, como siempre, vamos a pasar una encuesta de una sola pregunta para que nos califiquen el evento, donde es de 1 a 5, donde 5 es excelente. Un agradecimiento muy especial a nuestros patrocinadores de la Security Week SEA 2021, a BMI Seguros, BAT, Comscope, G4S, no solo ha sido hoy o es hoy nuestro invitado y conferencista especial, sino además uno de nuestros patrocinadores. Muchísimas gracias. Ford y por último IRC, Impermeabilizados y Revestimientos Consolidados SAS. Entonces ya para continuar vamos a presentar a nuestros conferencistas de hoy. En primer lugar está Nick Rodríguez, que es Senior Business Development Manager. Tiene más de 30 años de experiencia en el sector industrial. Ha trabajado en distintas áreas del sector, desde stock y reparación hasta integrador e ingeniero consultor de seguridad. Está certificado como ingeniero profesional del estado de Nueva York. De hecho, hoy se conecta desde Nueva York. Actualmente trabaja en una empresa que se llama AMAG Technology, que es hoy en día parte de G4S, y durante los últimos 6 años ha estado a cargo del desarrollo de negocios para la costa este de Estados Unidos. Es instructor certificado para el estado de Nueva York, donde enseña las 81 horas requeridas para que las empresas de instalación se conviertan en calificadoras de seguridad y alarma contra incendios en el estado nuevamente de Nueva York. Nos van a acompañar también, pero no como, pues, como backing, Cami Dukes, Director of Business Development of North America. Ella Se conecta desde Colorado, de una pequeña población en las montañas. Ella es licenciada en justicia penal, se dedica su tiempo y su pasión a la comunidad de consultores de seguridad. Actualmente es la directora de desarrollo de negocios para América del Norte, donde ella y su equipo impulsan nuevas oportunidades empresariales a través de la elaboración de mapas, la especificación y la planificación de ejecución de sistemas. Ha supervisado el diseño, la instalación y la puesta en marcha de complejos sistemas de seguridad, principalmente en Japón y Corea, para el Ejército de los Estados Unidos, la Fuerza Aérea y el Cuerpo de Marines de Estados Unidos. También tiene experiencia en centros penitenciarios en Midland County, Juvenile Care Center y un centro de detención de máxima seguridad en Michigan. También nos acompaña desde Lima, Perú, Andrés de León, Director of Sales Latin America and Caribbean. Él es ingeniero de sistemas, magna cum laude, certificado PMP. Profundo conocimiento de mercado tiene Andrés, del mercado tecnológico, con más de 14 años de experiencia profesional desarrollando proyectos de IT en alto impacto tecnológico en diversos sectores de la industria. Actualmente está a cargo de toda la región de América Latina y el Caribe como director de ventas de AMAC Technology, como les decía, una empresa hoy en día de parte de G4S, desarrollando y ejecutando estrategias de venta, gestionando mercados y creando equipos para impulsar la demanda en todos los países de la región. Entonces, sin más preámbulos, quiero pasarle la palabra entonces a Nick. La presentación de Nick va a ser en inglés. Cualquier duda, cualquier traducción, pues ahí vamos a tener al equipo de pues Andrés, va a estar Cami y vamos a estar nosotros también apoyándolos a ustedes. Nuevamente, mil gracias a E4, Mauricio Gutiérrez, su presidente aquí en Colombia, que nos acompaña también hoy. Así es de que adelante y the floor is yours, Nick.
Ricardo, muchas gracias a Nick. Very welcome. Thank you.
Gracias, gracias, or since I'm Portuguese, be obrigado. So.
Obrigado.
All right, let me share my screen. Everybody see my screen?
Yes, we do.
All right, perfect. So I would like to keep all the questions for the end of, but I also like to have an open dialogue as well. If something does come up, just keep it short, the questions. If it's something more elaborate, if we have it towards the end, that'll be awesome. So I don't like that by PowerPoint, but I like to just go over some things. So I've been, as Ricardo was saying, I've been with AMAG Technology for over 6 years at this point. I've seen a transitional change from AMAG as far as, going from as just an access control company to more of a unified platform to achieve more with our clients. And that's where the key phrase of achieving more together. So for anybody here who does not know who AMAG is, why AMAG or who we are part of G4S. We are located in the UK. All manufacturing and software come out of our UK Tewkesbury office and facility. AMAG's been in the industry for 40 plus years. Kind of astounding, but the name AMAG came from the original founding of American Magnetics, which developed the actual read heads for credit cards and read swipes for going into ATMs and all that. We're a worldwide company. We have over 30,000 installations worldwide. And we're in multiple, over 90 plus countries. So why AMAG? We offer something that a lot of other companies don't offer. We listen to our customers. We include everything else. We provide a robust, flexible, affordable platform to meet needs. And what are some of these needs? Some of them are compliance, ultimate visitor experience, access control, database sharing between disparate or silo systems previously in the past, because nowadays the organization is not just one person entering or utilizing that information. It has to be shared between other key stakeholders. So that's where we come into play. And that's where some of the business challenges. I've seen it where internal processes, how a credential is being, and when I say credential, I mean a card, could be biometrics. How is that process from start to finish? We automate, we streamline these processes. So we take away all the older manual processes. We want to data merge. We want to take away a lot of areas where we miss or misinformation goes between disparate systems or other silos. We try to eliminate that. I can give a lot of examples where an HR database has been added on, employees have been removed, other policies and procedures have been put in, and then when you go into the cardholder database, some of those credentials are still active. Some of those requirements to get into high secure areas have not been met. What does that lead to? Risk. There's a lot of risk. I can tell you a story where a database in a utility had 23,000 cardholders, and they only have 1,200 active employees. Why did it grow that big? Because nobody was managing that. They didn't have a process where an email was sent out that this employee was terminated, but it never got to the person managing that credential, that cardholder. So basically, what are some of the business challenges these days? We're trying to eliminate a lot of these paper processes. We're trying to consolidate all this data and a lot of the complexities, including with that is, who is the stakeholder that operates this door? Who are these people that are supposed to approve? Because a person might have to get into a secure area, but they need multiple approvals before they go into that area. So those are a lot of the business challenges that AMAG technology has in their portfolio that can eliminate a lot of our customers, which is where we get to this slide, our customer-centric approach. What are the risks? What are the standards? Are there compliances that need to be met? Utilities have certain requirements. Who gave access to that person? Why do they still have access if they haven't gone into that area for 90 days or 100 years or a year or 2 or 5? The whole bottom line is we also want to reduce cost. So I call this the three-legged stool, where we want to be right in the middle where we can help our customers, keeping compliance, mitigating the risks and the liabilities, and reducing the cost. The cost for having a person who does not have access to a particular area, if it's caught out by, say, a NERC-CIP compliance, could end up being $100 to $10,000 a day per credential. There are costs associated. We are trying to reduce that to make our customer base more efficient, more cost effective, and help them out, because the bottom line is money. And we do this on a global level as well. So some of the products that are under our suite. So we address these challenges. Of course, access control. Been in the industry, like I said, 40+ years. Some of the other risks that come into your facility or facilities are visitor management, your visitors coming in. How do we address those? How do we address who is coming into this building? Is that person part of a watch list? Or was he an ex-employee that's not supposed to be coming into that building? We address that with our Symmetry guest. Our identity management, our Symmetry Connect platform, a cloud-based or an on-prem version where we control that. Where does that database, where does that credential begin? Was the person hired and then you're issued a card? Or is that credential already approved prior to him walking in or her into the facility? Also, the offboarding process. You eliminate that person in your SAP or your Microsoft LDAP. It gets automatically pushed down to your access control, so that card instantaneously is deactivated. Or, like I was saying before, regarding access into doors, if that employee has not used their credential at a particular door for 60 days to 90 days to a year, why do they need access to that door? They should basically issue a request to that door operator, door owner, to gain access back into that. We also have our command and control. We are an enterprise platform where we do have command and control for all alarms, including third-party alarms with that, including VMS, other intercoms as well, that can be tied into our Symmetry command and control. Video management, and this is one of our key points. It's not about locking or unlocking doors these days. We want to know instantaneously when somebody uses their credential, or maybe they're not allowed in that area and we get a warning, or a door is left propped open, or some sort of integration needs that's out there. We can do that with our new video management. Our Symmetry Complete View allows that seamless integration, bi-directional alarms, where an alarm on your video camera can get the 2-hour Symmetry Complete View, which then notifies us, and we can bookmark, tag, playback video instantaneously. Where we can also have a particular card holder, which we are watching, and we program it into the system where anytime that card is being used, it bookmarks, tags, sends notification that that card's been used, and there's that video clip right there. Some other features includes our intrusion alarm. We do have a built-in intrusion alarm system, but more enhanced versions for UL certifications. We also have other integrations with third parties that will assist us with that. Our audio management. Now, this is one of our nicest features where you might have a campus situation. I've worked with a lot of utilities on this where a call is logged in at a call box or an intercom or a door. And a lot of times that needs to be answered immediately in a security command center. Or if it does not answer that security command center, it rolls over to a next available person that is on a call list to answer or unlock a gate, a door, or even give warning. So we do have our partnership with Zenitel, which allows that bookmarking of the audio communication. It's intelligible as well, because you can have audio, but if you don't have intelligibility from what is being said or what the message is, it's not going to get the proper messaging to what is going on. So incident management, we also have our incident case management software. This is more for other items outside of the access control, meaning if there's an investigation that needs to be done, if there is a robbery, if guards need to be dispatched out. Basically, a lot of that is what will fall under incident case. It could be anything from a stolen laptop to, a broken pipe to, a certain situation or a rioting at a facility. This will keep track of all that as well. Since we are part of G4S, this was designed particularly around our guards and our guarding with that. So another item is our Symmetry business analysis. This was developed for trying to determine internal threats within our facility. We're in the cybersecurity world, so a lot of times our major people that are conditioning threats in our facilities are our internal employees. A lot of times we want to figure out, and they're not going to do a lot of their harm during normal business hours. They're going to come in possibly a little bit earlier, possibly a little bit later. So what Symmetry business analysis does, it actually puts them on a rated scale of threat within internal. So the normal time of day of working is 9 to 5. But you know what? They're coming in a little bit early for the past couple of weeks. They're staying later a couple other weeks. There might be normal business, but they might be trying doors that they know they don't have access to, that they're trying to get into. So trying to figure out. So what Symmetry business analysis does, it actually determines and rates them on a scale and gives them a little warning to the higher ups that you should take a little bit more of a closer look at your employee that is doing this. So before I move on, any questions so far? No?
¿Alguna
Okay.
inquietud, pregunta hasta el momento?
Sí, Ricardo.
Adelante, Fabio.
Good morning, Nick. It's Fabio Castillo from Siemens Energy. Do you have representation here in our country?
Do you have a presentation in your country?
No,
That was a
no,
question?
if somebody represents you here in Colombia, I believe it's
Yes,
G4S.
Hello, and yes, as Nick says, we are working as a brand, G4S. So we have the representation. We are the same company. So the answer is yes. G4S Colombia has all the contacts and all the details about AMAX. So happy to discuss on whatever you need. But at the end of the day, the answer is yes. And G4S Colombia, and that's the idea of this, is try to show what we can do it and other approach our technology capabilities. But the answer again is yes. And we are happy to have any details and whatever you need. We are in charge of the business here in Colombia.
Okay, fantastic.
And also we have some big projects there too. We have around 3 or 4 clients that are huge and that they are using our solutions right now in Colombia.
All right, thank you.
All righty. All right, well,
¿Alguna otra pregunta?
No, for me, it's good enough. Thank you, Ricardo.
Okay, Fabio.
I'll move on, and then we can have more questions towards the end. So, okay. So some of the vertical markets that AMAG technology has been involved with, and a lot of our customers, of course, higher ed, healthcare, transportation, utilities is a big one for us. The financial sector. I know you see the U.S. government, but we have tons and tons of other local and other country governments as well, including the one off the top of my head is up in Ottawa in Canada. That's one that I was working on. Of course, military bases across the world, ports and marinas. So data centers we're huge in. We are very huge in across the globe as well. So this is just a snapshot of the amount of verticals that we handle. And it's small or large. There's not, we are an enterprise platform. We have other integrations as well that tie into our system, but doesn't matter the size, small or large, we will handle it. We can be used as scaled, and we're all scalable too. A customer might need maybe 1 or 2 doors in one location, and they have grown up to hundreds to thousands of doors worldwide. So doesn't matter what vertical is challenging, we are in it as well. So from this point, I'm going to jump into some of the case studies that are published on our website that has helped out, that we helped out some of our clients with. So the first one we're going to dive into is Dpd Netherlands. And if I don't know if some of you know what Dpd is, they are one of the largest parcel shipping markets in Europe. They're basically send out 7.5 million parcels on a daily basis to more than 230 countries worldwide. They expanded their facilities basically through acquisitions, or even they bought and build up from the ground up. Basically, what they had as well is they had over 11 different facilities that had different security needs. Now, with that, they needed to adhere to TAPA. TAPA is the Transportation Association Parcel Association, and they needed to, the Transportation Asset Protection Association, which needed to adhere to those standards for such a large organization facility. So what was some of the challenges? The challenges were they have all these 11 locations. They needed to unify everything into one platform. One of their local integrators up in the Netherlands mentioned or brought us in as AMAG as the technology to, and the only manufacturing technology to adhere for that. So basically, the Eindhoven facility was the first to be done. That also houses the security command center for all their other locations. You also have an Amsterdam location. So basically what it first started as, it was the complete view product, the video product, what I mentioned. So they integrated 250 cameras from their Eindhoven facility, integrated the Amsterdam with another 120 cameras, and they were able to view it into one location. So they streamlined that process where they can actually visually at any time look at a camera at either location. Then they started bringing up the other locations too, and I think they are still expanding to other locations, but this was the solution that they actually chose. They chose us. Some of the other aspects was the access control. The access control at any particular site was about between 15 to 40 doors. They needed to track each employee entering and exiting. So we have not only that we produce our own panels and our own software, we also produce our own readers as well. So we can actually, they actually put in our Javelin readers into these facilities where they can track the employees entering the facility, leaving the facility. They can actually send card commands to particular doors if they need to unlock a door for a particular amount of time. And they can track, if they needed to, track visitors as well, with giving out, issuing a temporary credential. They also, in this facility, brought in our Zenithal intercom as well, where if somebody comes into the facility, either at their gates, at their garages, or at the front door, they're able to hit the intercom, talk to either the security command center or the front lobby desk to let them in, so they can actually streamline the process for the visitors as well. They also have, since we are in the guarding business as well, during off-peak hours, they do have an intrusion alarm where there are no guards at night. So they actually integrated that with Honeywell Galaxy. Now Honeywell Galaxy is more of an international intrusion alarm, but we do have that integration. So it's under one umbrella, where you have your Symmetry Complete View, your Symmetry Access Control, your Zenithal, all under one umbrella. So they can actually look at their command center in Eindhoven and have full command and control throughout their facilities. They could not do that prior with basic disparate systems as well. So this is the first case study I wanted to bring up, more of an international. The second one, a little bit more home to me. Basically, it's a new development that was done up in Rochester, New York. Family-owned business developer or real estate developer. They basically want to redesign the downtown Rochester in New York. Basically, what they did was to fit in with the downtown region area. They developed pretty much 200 units within this downtown region, some with market rent, some with, if anybody's dealing with some of these new developings coming up, they also want to sell commercial application down there, real estate, shops, affordable housing. So they want to attract the new younger crowds into these areas where a millennial would fall under. So, but one of the appeals to this was to have the modern obtrusiveness for the families, but keep in with the security of each building and the actual region. They want to streamline a lot of these processes. A lot of this time they wanted to do this was for residents coming in. They want to do this for 5 locations. So each one of these areas was a different location. So across different buildings, across different locations. One of the attracting appeal to selecting Symmetry for this was a Symmetry Blue credential and our Symmetry Blue readers. Like I said, we produce our own readers. We have a Symmetry mobile reader as well, where you can use a phone as a credential. We can do it as a free download, or now with this new Symmetry mobile, have it as part of your platform to issue out credentials to employees or to residents. In our case, with this new development of a community, it wasn't just access into their parking garages. It wasn't just access into their main buildings or elevators, but also their amenity spaces, including what that is gyms, movie rooms, anything you can think of, cigar lounges in a lot of these buildings to attract the younger generation into these buildings. So, and sell affordable housing. So, and another case study I want to bring up was, and this is probably a telling tale of everything, is a large national bank. And a lot of times I can't say the names of the actual case studies just because of just legalities and all that, but they agreed to have us use as a case study. This bank itself, basically one of the largest banks, not only through the US, but across the globe. They had 71 different sites, 16 different access control hardware, and 7 different access control softwares. Now, a lot of that had to do with acquisition, but they needed to streamline that. They needed to go cross platforms, cross buildings with all that. And a lot of times it was an aging platform where they couldn't get any more parts. So they looked to us as a subject matter expert at AMAG themselves to basically assist them with this. The solution included our Symmetry access control system, and our SR panel. So we also, when I was saying we go produce our own panels, we had a Symmetry SR or replacement board for the Kazi Rusco. That's where this bank with tied was retrofit panels, where basically we just pull out a board, unplug the old board, plug it in, and put it in, and you're up and running. The ease of time of the Symmetry replacement boards of the SR series is one of the telling tales of AMAG itself at the time. So we also, the other part of the solution is we integrate into their video intercom as well as their VMS. And the other solution is they are looking to put in Symmetry Connect and visitor management, Symmetry Guest, to help them with the employee onboarding process and the offboarding process, as well as their visitors, finding out who's in their facilities. What was the whole end result of, or what was the reason why was part of their compliance? They needed to be in compliance. They had all these disparate sites where they didn't know who was getting access to these buildings, or they couldn't keep track. They needed to offboard these people. So as a whole, as part of our solution, we came in with our dealer and help and assist them out with this. The results are this: single solution across multiple sites. You have one maintenance, that's it. Standardized, and they're full within compliance. And we centralized everything into one area. They might have multiple offices, multiple security command centers, but you know what? Now it's all centralized into one area, so it's ease of use as well. That's pretty much it of my portion of the presentation. Went over some case studies and just give you a high level of AMAG as a general. I know Andres is a great resource that'll help you out as well. So I guess I'll throw it back to you, Ricardo, and then I guess we get some questions and answers.
Thank you, Nick. Very complete your presentation, and in fact, you have covered 9 of the risks that companies are facing on a daily basis worldwide. I would like to start asking you, which of the 9 possibilities that you mentioned has been the most difficult threat that the companies are facing today?
I guess the really the onboarding and offboarding keeping track of that is probably the common theme of that. I've been in some other discussions since I've been here with AMAG for the past 5-6 years, and the biggest one has been the offboarding process, the onboarding process, as far as keeping track. You know, emails being sent back and forth through multiple area owners, keeping track of that. The biggest thing is the auditing. I can tell you one utility in particular, the credential holder or the credential operator has to every year has to bring in 21 new interns, as well as new employees come from like June and March. And the problem is she has to go through HR to get the cardholder number, make sure it's in their time clock program. They have to align it together. And then a lot of times where she doesn't even know that the person left or the time is left until a week or two after they left, because HR never told them, him or her, that, oh, they left, by the way, they were terminated for any particular reason. So that is probably the number one out of all the risks that companies are facing these days, that I've seen. So our Symmetry, yeah. So
Yeah,
Symmetry. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, because of course, and especially in this pandemic where you're hiring people that are being that you don't even know person. They have been hired remotely, and that should be a big challenge for companies, and especially those having a lot of people and having to work remotely from their homes. But in case they need to go to the office, you don't have a track of who are they, how they look like, or whatever. And so I understand that big risk. Y quisiera pues ya abrir al público a ver si hay preguntas. Ya yo acabo de preguntar sobre los riesgos que él ha encontrado, cuál ha sido el más complicado dentro de las empresas que ellos han visto y han atendido. Y obviamente dice que es llevar el control de todo el nuevo personal, de todos los pasantes, personas que no son propiamente de la compañía. Y lo que yo le decía, en esta situación de trabajo remoto, donde a veces no conoce uno los empleados, pues muchas veces, no los conoce uno personalmente, muchas veces más difícil eso. Así es de que pues le paso el micrófono a quien quiera hacer preguntas o aportes o comentarios.
Yo también quisiera añadir de que toda nuestra solución en Colombia está implementada en G4S. Ustedes pueden ir a las oficinas de G4S con Mauricio Gutiérrez, y seguramente los recibirá de la mejor manera y les podrán dar un demo o un recorrido por todo lo que nosotros estamos ofreciendo, ¿no? Desde las entradas a las oficinas con una credencial móvil, desde nuestro sistema de control de acceso unificado, el tema de video, entre otros, ¿no? Entonces, cualquier cosa que ustedes quieran ver realmente funcionando, estamos totalmente a la orden, ¿no? G4S es nuestro aliado principal en Colombia. Ellos tienen mucho conocimiento de nuestras soluciones y sobre todo entienden cómo hacer un desarrollo integrado entre lo que es seguridad física, seguridad en tecnología que van de la mano. O sea, creo que en estos momentos en los que estamos, pensar solamente de seguridad física y seguridad integrada por separado no agrega valor. La idea es tener una visión holística de estos dos mundos, complementado con estudios de riesgo para poder tener toda una solución completa, ¿no? Y G4S es experto uniendo estos tres mundos, ¿no? Riesgos, tecnología y seguridad física, ¿no?
Ricardo.
Sorry, Nick, I say this in Spanish, but I know that the audience here.
That's all right. I understood about like 50% of it. So.
That's fine.
Buenos días, Ricardo. No,
Pablo, adelante. Adelante, Pablo.
Excusen que no tengo aquí para levantar la manito porque estoy conectado por el celular, entonces. Just a quick question, guys. Thank you very much for the presentation. Excellent. When we talk about electronic security within the security protection systems, we're kind of seeing in the market a tendency. Companies seem to be more inclined to approach CCTV and access control, etc. Now as a service. They don't seem to be too inclined to buy equipment. And the approach that you see pretty much in the private sector today is, hey, provide me a service. You made the surveillance with the CCTV, install the equipment, operate the equipment, and give me the results. What's your take on that, guys?
Nick, you want to take that or?
Yeah, I can start with that. So we do offer some software as a service as far as our Symmetry Connect, our Symmetry Guest platform, and incident case management as well. Our access control, as well as our complete view, is on-prem, but we do offer it that we can comply with cloud scenarios as well. So if you, as G4S, want to run it in the cloud, we have a bunch of case studies as well as clients that are running Symmetry Access in the cloud today. We just don't offer that as a manufacturer. So.
All right. Thank you very much, Nick.
No problem.
One question there. I mean, are you talking about, for example, if G4S can give like a complete solution where you guys don't need to buy equipment, or are you talking about our solutions that can be hosted on the cloud or not on premise? I didn't get that.
I'm talking about a whole package of security protection. That will probably means the integration of different systems, including software to make risk analysis and everything.
Pablo, perdón.
Talking about intrusion detection systems, CCTV, alarms, access control, and all of that integrated into a platform, and when we talk about the contract, llave en mano, just giving the contractor the possibility to implement everything, implemented, operated, and just put the example. If you get an oil facility in the field, you guys install, operate, guarantees are for you guys, maintenance, everything. So the client doesn't have to, bother about nothing different than paying a monthly fee, and you guys provide the results in every aspect and give us key performance indicators on the systems, every one of them, and do the management.
Correct.
Pretty much that.
Correct. So
that's kind of, guys, what I'm seeing in the market as a tendency. That was what I want to see your opinion, to hear your opinion.
So I would say yes, and that's more a question for Mauricio Gutierrez. So in other countries, definitely we have that type of model with our sellers. For example, here in Peru, right now, G4S is acting as a complete integration company from security, physical security, technological security, and they do all the operations, right? And they just pay a monthly fee So the client only pays a monthly fee to G4S, and they take care of everything from the technical side, from the fiscal side, and from the risk side. So
Sure.
Mauricio, I don't know if you want to talk a little bit more about this model, because I mean this is like a business model, right? More than a technical.
Andrés, habla Carlos Gamboa. ¿Me oyes?
Carlos. Yes,
Hola.
perfect.
Discúlpenme, I'm going to answer in Spanish. I think it could be better for the all of us. Efectivamente, Pablo, sí, en Colombia G4S ofrece este modelo de servicio. Tenemos experiencia de más de 20 años haciéndolo. Hemos implementado soluciones para diferentes sectores económicos. Tal vez la más exitosa que hemos tenido fue la que hicimos con Equion, que duró más de 15 años en operación, en la cual al final de los últimos 5 años, G4S construyó para Equion una central en la cual recibía todos los sistemas de seguridad electrónicos que estaban en las instalaciones de Equion, en los bloques que tenía Equion en el Casanare. Prestábamos servicios de consultoría, de seguridad física, y todo se operaba desde allí, y por lo cual Equion pagaba un fee mensual que dependía en parte de unos indicadores de gestión, de unos acuerdos de nivel de servicio, que en tanto se cumplieran, el pago era el acordado. Si se excedían, teníamos un bono, y si estábamos por debajo, hacíamos un descuento en la tarifa. Es un modelo de servicio que efectivamente está empezando a convertirse en tendencia. Sí, tenemos experiencia en hacerlo, y es un modelo de servicio que es interesante en ciertos casos, tanto para la compañía que recibe el servicio como para la que la presta. Y el caso específico es cuando ambas compañías están trabajando basados en una estrategia de seguridad, y juntos se están empujando para que esa estrategia de seguridad se cumpla y tenga un impacto en los resultados económicos de la compañía cliente.
Muy amable, Carlos. Muy gentil.
Y solo para completar esa respuesta que dio Carlos ahora, que ese es el modelo de negocio, nuestra solución, hablando un poco más del tema técnico, está totalmente apta para ver temas de servicios mensuales, tipo software as a service, ¿no? Tenemos 3 soluciones actualmente que ya funcionan bajo ese modelo, ¿no? Pero sí, o sea, tanto G4S como nosotros estamos en ese modelo de negocio involucrado, ¿no?
Gracias, Andrés. Muy amable.
Claro que sí.
¿Alguna otra inquietud, comentario, pregunta?
Ricardo, good morning. This is Diego Sandoval from IBM. I have a question for, I don't know for who, from AMAC. One of the solutions that you offer, guys, is Connect and Guest, especially Guest. IBM has been dealing with this for several months now, worldwide. And my question was, usually the visitors control is managed by security guards who do not speak English. They only speak Spanish or their native language. Is there any way to have these solutions in the local language for the countries?
Andreas, you're on mute, but I think you're best suited to answer this.
I was talking. I don't know if you saw me, but yes. So sorry, guys. I was in mute. And yes, Diego. So right now, our solution, our Symmetry Guest solution, is 100% Spanish and in more than 10 languages. I know that you guys are right now. We are working with you guys in not only the access control part, but also with the guests and Connect. And yes, we have Portuguese, we have Spanish, we have 10 more right now. And that was released probably on Q1 2021, if I remember correctly. right? But yes, and also our complete main solution, the Symmetry access control software, it is 100% in Spanish too, by the way.
Thanks, Andres.
No worry, Diego. Yes, just anything, just let me know. I know that we work together. No sé, I don't know how much time I was talking in mute, so I don't know if I talk a lot.
Not much, not much.
Not
Good.
much. Thank you.
Está bien, Andrés. Fine.
Si
¿Alguna
tienen
otra?
otra pregunta.
No, Carlos Ariza, L'Oreal, había hecho un comentario, precisamente era reafirmando que el tema de pagar por el servicio y no por los equipos era algo en el que ellos han participado. Por ahí comentaron algo de BP Equion, también de un proyecto donde se hizo ese tipo de modelo y que resultó exitoso. Tal vez esos comentarios que vi en el chat ahora, pero no sé si alguien quiere ampliar o quisiera ampliar sobre eso u otro comentario adicional.
Hello, Gabriel.
Hola, Gabriela, adelante.
Okay, I have one question. I would like that for me it's very important the human resource. I like very much the technology, but what do you think about that the security, that the physical security in a few years? What is the tendency of the guards, the people that work with us? What do you think about it?
I can talk. Carlos, you want to talk about that? But I would say that right now, the tendency or the future is to have a holistic integration between three businesses or between three parts, which are the man-secure business, the risk part, and the technological part. And if you manage to achieve that those three processes work together, in that case, definitely you will see lots and lots of advantage from a cost reduction and also for lowering your risk, definitely. And that in that process of unifying those three parts, G4S, our main ally in Colombia, is a huge and very important key player because they understand those three parts, right? I know, Carlos, you want to talk, or Mauricio, you want to add something there?
Andrés, gracias. Pues importantísimo punto, Gabriel. La verdad, y como lo dice Andrés, puede ser un tema de, digamos, aproximación y discusión. En G4S lo que hemos entendido siempre es que realmente es una visión mucho más holística de ver cómo las actividades y los riesgos se entienden de la mejor manera y los recursos se destinan para mitigar y manejar esos riesgos igualmente en una forma correcta, de manera que creería que el secreto y el punto está en poder darle realmente la importancia a cada uno de esos recursos, ver cómo entre todos hacemos un esfuerzo por integrarlos de la mejor manera, y ese es el reto que tenemos realmente en G4S. Lo planteaba Nick en el comienzo de su presentación, donde hablábamos de riesgos, un ejercicio de compliance y una aproximación con un costo muy eficiente para las organizaciones, y el secreto está detrás de eso. Más que pensar en que la tecnología desplaza, creemos y estamos firmemente convencidos que la tecnología complementa, adiciona y evoluciona, de manera que se trata de tratar de entrenar nuestra gente, de tener una tecnología súper evolucionada, pero al final es realmente encontrar dónde hay dolores en las organizaciones y cómo a través de esa mezcla eficiente de tecnología, de procesos, de hombres, logramos una mucho más eficiente mitigación de los riesgos. Entonces, pues ahí hay un secreto tener una respuesta exacta es súper difícil, pero realmente la aproximación de la compañía sí es una visión mucho más holística de entender dónde hay fuerza, dónde hay posibilidades y cómo logramos la mejor mezcla, mucho más que pensar en que una tendencia desplace la otra, es más una efectiva complementariedad de los esquemas y de las aproximaciones. Sería como una aproximación de una óptica más personal y filosófica. Repito, el tema es súper interesante y una discusión apasionante en estos temas.
Ok, gracias. Thanks. Gracias, Ricardo.
Con mucho gusto, Gabriel. Juan Carlos Cuervo.
Bueno, buenos días. Yo solamente quiero compartir un poco la experiencia. Yo actualmente, nuestro proveedor de seguridad integral es G4S. Nosotros tenemos más de 30 sedes en todo el país, donde G4S nos ha prestado ese servicio de vigilancia humana y seguridad electrónica con un pago mensual por esos servicios, inclusive los de seguridad electrónica. Y eso se complementa pues, significativamente porque como lo decíamos acá, la parte electrónica es un complemento a esa seguridad humana y más en procesos tan dinámicos como los que tenemos nosotros en nuestras plantas. Nos ha permitido, cuando pagamos por ese servicio mensual y no por la compra de esos equipos, pues concentrarnos en lo que verdaderamente le interesa al negocio y es pues la protección de sus activos, de sus bienes, de su reputación y demás, y dejarle esa parte a los que son especialistas, a estas empresas que están dedicadas a esto, a que mantengan esos servicios de seguridad electrónica en forma permanente y sean el adecuado complemento en la administración de riesgos de todas nuestras operaciones a nivel nacional. Y tener eso así a nivel nacional también nos permite inclusive actuar en campos donde, pues, donde esto fuera propio, sería muy difícil que nosotros lo pudiéramos hacer por la dispersión de nuestras operaciones en todo el país y porque muchas de esas operaciones son en la calle, donde pues tener un aliado de este tamaño le permite a uno abordar rápidamente esos problemas de seguridad que se presentan en un país como Colombia. Era eso, muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias, Juan Carlos. Carlos Ariza, adelante.
Gracias, Ricardo. Buenos días a todos. No, complementando un poco lo que dice Juan Carlos Cuervo, también es importante empezar a medir que nosotros impactamos cuando compramos equipos, impactamos directamente las inversiones y los activos de la compañía. Entonces, muchas compañías están optando más bien por impactar directamente el gasto, contratando el servicio y no comprando los equipos. Y asociado también había un comentario, Ricardo, que hacía yo en el chat. La basura tecnológica deja de ser un problema para nosotros como usuarios, porque cada vez que cambiamos los equipos, ya sea cada 3 o cada 5 años, tenemos que tener una bodega para poder guardar todas las cámaras, el control de acceso y todas las controladoras, etcétera. Y realmente es mucho más fácil y mucho más viable hoy en día mirando no solamente el gasto, sino mirando ese manejo de esa basura electrónica, pues que se la lleven los proveedores que son dueños de esos equipos para que la dispongan de la mejor manera. Entonces se convierte en proyectos mucho más viables, mucho más fáciles, y paga uno 3 años un fee X por ese arrendamiento sin tener problemas de mantenimiento, reemplazos, arreglos y ese tipo de cosas. Entonces,
depende de lo
en el
grande de
momento
la
en que
empresa.
nosotros esa figura nos ayuda muchísimo,
Correcto,
Ricardo. Gracias.
no alquila, compra.
Sí, perfecto, Carlos, muchas gracias por el comentario. Y es yo creo que una tendencia mundial en temas de electrónica, los leads de los computadores, etcétera, se está volviendo algo muy común en las empresas, precisamente por eso, la disposición después de esos equipos es mucho más complicado. Muy bien, ¿más alguna pregunta, comentarios, aportes de los invitados hoy?
Creo que por nuestro lado, muchas gracias por darnos esta oportunidad. Thank you very much, guys, for giving us this opportunity. Really appreciate it. just to remind you guys that we are here in Latam. We have our complete team speak Spanish. We have technical support in Spanish. We have commercial engineering and all the parts in Spanish. And we are really more than happy to help you, not only from a commercial perspective, but also from engineering side. Okay, so that's very, very important. And with the companion of G4S, I mean, we do a great job, right? I mean, G4S is a great company, and they really understand how this process works, you know.
Yo tenía una inquietud adicional, si me permiten, y es nuestra geografía en Colombia es complicada. Aquellos que han estado aquí, let me put it in English. Our geography is quite difficult in terms of jungles, in terms of mountains, and I believe those systems need to have a kind of connection through internet. Many of our companies, especially those in the extractive business, oil and gas and mining, are usually located in those remote areas of the country. Sometimes it's very difficult to bring internet solutions to those areas, and we're struggling today to connect the whole country. My question will be, if you're able to install your systems in that kind of sites where internet connection is difficult or intermediate is not reliable, and still provide a reliable performance of the equipment.
I think I can answer that, Ricardo. And the answer is simple. The answer is yes. We have done it.
Okay.
Yes, and we have huge example, for example, in Argentina, where we are doing mines at very, very high altitude, and it works really fine. We don't have any issue there. So as Carlos says, yes, I mean, no worries about that.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Bueno, pues no sé si haya otra inquietud. Ya por lo menos me resolvieron esa del tema de internet en las zonas remotas de Colombia, porque pues todos estos sistemas electrónicos pues necesitan una manera de comunicarse, y internet es lo más sencillo. Y en las zonas territoriales colombianas no en todas partes entra muy bien el internet. Y no, la respuesta es que sí funcionan bien. Luego, me parece excelente esa posibilidad. No sé si haya más o vamos pasando nuestra encuesta de satisfacción. Bueno, aquí hay otra.
Un comentario final, Ricardo. Let me say thank you very much to Kemi, to Nick, to Andres, and to all AMAC team. And the rest of my comment will be in Spanish. To say a todos mil gracias. La verdad, lo que queremos es pues aprovechar el espacio y decirle al CEA también que mil gracias. Nos interesa realmente que entre todos podamos conversar, poner sobre la mesa oportunidades nuevas y tratar de ver cómo vamos construyendo, y básicamente pues darle también una, digamos que, visión distinta de cómo pensamos y cómo vemos hay futuro y hay opciones de tecnología, y en G4S pues realmente lo que queremos es ese ejercicio, tratar de seguir apostándole al modelo y de entender que entre todos vamos construyendo y conversando temas que pues puedan ser para el interés y el bienestar de todos. De manera que Ricardo, Alcea y a nuestros panelistas, pues de verdad que mil gracias. Decía Andrés que con mucho gusto las oficinas donde podemos mostrar y tener el showroom están absolutamente abiertas, de manera que recibimos el pase, Andrés, con mucho gusto, y aquí claramente estamos pendientes. De manera pues que de esa forma yo creo que vamos cerrando, Ricardo, y de nuevo a todos mil gracias.
Sí. Aquí veo una pregunta en el chat y es sobre los drones, ¿sí? Y la pregunta es, I get another question that is related to the drone services in zones where we need this kind of technology. Do you get this service in Colombia?
Carlos Gamboa tenía un tilín con el micrófono, un problema, pero si Carlos la toma y nos ayuda, que creo que es como la persona correcta.
Sí, la respuesta, Ricardo, es sí. Tenemos varios servicios diseñados con drones, desde un call-out para hacer un vuelo específico o una revisión submarina de lo que se necesite con un drone también, hasta servicios permanentes con drones para cumplir con objetivos específicos de operaciones que así lo requieran. La idea con estos servicios es sentarnos, conversar, de establecer bien cuál es la necesidad del cliente, de qué riesgos estamos hablando para diseñar el mejor servicio, y más que un vuelo, más que una fotografía, más que un video, lo que logramos es obtener información que podemos comparar a través de distintas herramientas para saber cómo está evolucionando una amenaza frente a una vulnerabilidad que pueda tener una instalación específica. Entonces, la respuesta es sí, lo hacemos por aire, lo hacemos por tierra, lo hacemos por debajo del agua también.
Magnífico, pues muy gracias. Creo que no hay más preguntas, no veo nada en el chat. No, me queda nomás sino pues agradecerle a G4S por esta presentación, a Mauricio Gutiérrez por habernos traído este tema, y a nuestros panelistas invitados, a Nick Rodríguez, a Cami Dukes y Andrés de León, a Carlos Gamboa, pues que también estuvo presente hoy de G4. Muchísimas gracias por la información, muy valiosa. Y para finalizar también, nuevamente agradecer muy especialmente a nuestras empresas patrocinadoras del Security Week SEA 2021, a BMI Seguros, a BAT, a Comscope, a G4S, que no solo patrocina, sino también nos trae temas, a Ford y a IRC Impermeabilizados y Revestimientos Consolidados SAS. Sin ellos, pues esto no hubiera sido posible. Recordarles, eso sí, que el próximo miércoles 29 de septiembre tendremos nuestro primer evento presencial de 2021, y les decía, desde marzo de 2020 no hemos tenido un evento presencial todavía en el SEA. Ese será nuestro primer evento, que será nuestra clausura del mes de la seguridad en el Club El Nogal, a las 5 de la tarde. No olviden registrarse. Hay una posibilidad grande de hacer networking, de darnos un abrazo, que tanta falta nos hace, creo yo, por lo menos a mí. Y vamos a tener invitados, vamos a tener al nuevo RSO de la Embajada de los Estados Unidos, Fernando Matos, que acaba de llegar a Colombia. Vamos a tener también, hemos invitado al ministro de Defensa y al viceministro Jairo García. Estamos pendientes de esa confirmación. Ya me confirmó Aníbal Fernández de Soto, el secretario de Seguridad Ciudadana de Bogotá. De autoridades de policía me han confirmado el general Murillo de la Dijín, el general Cárdenas del Gaula. Estamos pendientes del general Vargas, director de la policía, y del general Camacho, director de la Metropolitana de Bogotá. Y por supuesto, pues todos ustedes, los altos directivos de nuestras empresas afiliadas, pues que son realmente la esencia de nuestra asociación. Muchísimas gracias a todos, les deseo un excelente resto de día, y mañana, viernes, nos vemos en el último evento, como les decía, con Hillary Knowlton, para hablar sobre el manejo de las crisis. Muchísimas gracias a todos, muchas gracias a los que nos contestaron nuestra encuesta de hoy, que nos sirve muchísimo para nuestros futuros eventos. Gracias a todos. Thank you, Nick, Cami, Andrés, everybody. Have a nice day and a nice rest of the week and an excellent weekend. Thank you so much.
Gracias.
Bye.
Ciao.
Gracias. Thank you so much for the
Gracias.
opportunity.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.